did you enjoy did you get into a good routine? Did you start to, develop after Freshers Week ended, and
Yeah, definitely. Like, I think it sort of improved like weekly. I think the most important thing is just surrounding yourself with like good people, and that's what really makes the experience. And like once you've got that sorted, it just can get better and better.
No, absolutely.
Yeah. Football really helped though. Like that was like a nice routine to have. Because that's something I would do at home, so it just sort of made me feel more connected, I don't know, with how I was at home. So yeah.
It sounded like it did help with you. I mean, sports
Yeah.
was a big thing for me. Like going to the gym was something that I needed to sort out, because that's a good routine to get into. And I mean, doing sports is another good routine. But I want to touch on a little bit about like being thrust into independence and a bit of like homesickness around that, because I got pretty homesick. I'm not going to lie to you. Like I had like 2 weeks where I'd wake up feeling really anxious every day, which wasn't pleasant.
No.
Because you sort of like it affects your sleep as well, because you're anxious when you go to bed and you wake up feeling anxious, so you sort of like you just feel exhausted all the time.
And then tiredness, that for me,
Yeah.
just tired equals emotion.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but what was I going to say? I don't know. Carry on, because then I'll remember.
But I mean, I think homesickness is something that doesn't get mentioned all that much, because it kind of can be seen as it's a little taboo, I suppose, because some people feel comfortable talking about it, some people don't want to really approach the idea, and refuse to accept that they may have been homesick.
Yeah. It's just so normal, and I wish like I just didn't even know. I didn't even think homesick when I went to uni. Like I think I really try, I think, on my channel just to sort of spread the normality of it, and like that it's really normal, and a lot of people feel it, and it's fine, and it will get better, and because it's just what I went through. And like I was never homesick, like, but then I don't remember ever being homesick as a child, but it's just something about going to uni and then being away from your mum. I was like, I want my mum.
It's a shock. I want my mum.
Yeah.
It's a shock, absolutely.
Yeah.
Did you see? I mean, and then a lot of thing that I think comes into that feeling of homesickness is like almost feeling inadequate if you choose to go home for a weekend early, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Do you feel like there's a stigma around people choosing to go home early?
Yeah, definitely. I remember like telling my flat, I think a few times even, like I'd say, right, I'm going home on Friday for a weekend. They'd be like, again? And I'm like, why do you have to say that?
Yeah.
Isn't it fine? Like, yeah. But to be honest, I remember I went to my supervisor at one point just to say, like, what do you recommend? And she was like, right, go home tonight. And I was like, it's Tuesday. I was going to go home Friday. She was like, go home, come back next Monday. And that helped massively, going home for a big time. And I think it was just like realising that everything's still at home, like everyone's still going to be there for you when you come back. Like I just felt like really two separate worlds, but it's not like that. There's, yeah. And something else that really helped was in second term, I went back with so much more stuff in my bedroom. And like, I think my room was a bit gloomy. Constantine's notice boards are dark red, and you can't do many colour themes with dark red. So I literally covered it with pictures, and then I went like light blue. I got like nice new duvet. I got loads of fairy lights. And I know this is like a bit girly, but yeah, that really helped me feel more at home. Just had loads of stuff from my room. That was good.
Yeah. No, I agree. Like, it's important to make yourself feel at home, and like you're right, like Constantine's rooms are a bit bare, and then with the big red notice board it is just a bit like, what am I going to do with this? In terms of like the stigma of going home too early though is like such a real thing, and I think it's important to like be aware of what you need at that moment in time, because those few months, in my opinion, are like such key moments in the whole uni like life. If you go into that first year or that first term and you really come out the other side of it feeling like you've made a mistake and should have gone home and haven't enjoyed it as much because you didn't keep connected to home life, I think that can
Yeah.
be quite a challenging thing to go through. I felt the pressures of going home too early, and to the extent that I basically didn't go home. I just thought, in my mind, the solution that I had was, well, I'm feeling, anxious about being at uni. I'm feeling, out of my comfort zone. So the solution for that clearly is just stick it out as long as I can, and
Yeah.
just make it so it's a routine, and get over it. Like, and in hindsight, I don't agree that was the right thing
No.
to do.
I think it's, if you want to go home, you should just go home. But then saying that, it's easier said than done for some people, because like if you're from London
Yeah.
and you need to go home one weekend and then, or you need to go home the next, that's either not financially like feasible, or it's just going to take a lot of your time sat on a train. But for me, I felt quite lucky that I was close enough to be able to get home when I wanted.